So we should probably address what's your best strategy for surviving the holidays and maintaining your fitness.
Yeah. So let's get through December. You know, there's going to be some food that's maybe off the bandwagon, maybe more alcohol than usual. Maybe you're away from the gym, so the consistency of your routine takes a hit, any or all of those things. Plus, it's also cold and flu season where people tend to get sick. Although I don't know if we have a cold and flu season as much as we have a stay indoors and eat candy and pie season, you know, like one of the two. But let's think of those from a few different perspectives. So we want to enjoy life and we want to do the things that are important. Some of those involve meals and feasting and social connections and time with family and friends. So we don't want to take those things out of our life in a way that detracts from overall quality of life. But let's just be strategic. Right. So if there are certain meals or outings or occasions that are important to you and are going to add to the quality and enjoyment of your life, plan for those. And then you know when they're going to happen and the day of. So let's say it's Christmas Day. You know you're going for big turkey dinner and you love all that stuff. Well, let's work backwards from that event. Earlier in that day, it would be good if maybe you did a workout. Christmas Day, we always do the 150 Christmas burpees. This will be year 17 of the Christmas burpees. So no matter what, it takes between 10 and 20 minutes for most people. You can find a body length of floor space and you can get your Christmas burpees done. If you went for a walk or went snowshoeing or something else like that, or maybe you're busy cleaning the house and prepping the meal yourself, so you're just being active on that day, that would be great. So you get your workout in. It would probably make sense to either extend your fasting window through that day or at least stick with just a very light protein and fat meal prior to. So mid-morning, you have 5 eggs. So you get your 30 grams of protein, a little bit, keeps the appetite down, but then otherwise you save the bulk of what you're going to eat that day for this big, important meal. Afterwards, after dinner, it would be great if you started a culture and a tradition in your family of let's all go for a walk. Mm-hmm. Let's bundle up. It's cold outside. That's fine. Let's go for a walk or go for a snowshoe or go, build a snowman or throw some snowballs at each other or just move around a bit.
Yeah.
Even 10 minutes of walking after a high carbohydrate meal makes a tremendous difference in managing your blood glucose. It just stimulates your muscles to take up the glucose out of your bloodstream and really blunts the damage tremendously. So if you can somehow find a way to go for a walk and then take some other people with you. I know alcohol is part of the thing, and often it's part of a survival strategy of spending time with your family.
Yes.
So, minimize alcohol intake, find the lowest possible point you can get it to. If you can minimize the really sugary drinks or like eggnog, really dense source of calories, enjoy a little bit, but whatever alcohol you choose to consume, try to keep it to a minimum.
Yeah.
Alcohol absolutely blunts your ability to properly manage your blood glucose. It also decreases your ability to regulate your appetite. So you will eat more calories if you're also consuming alcohol at the same time. So it makes it harder to make better choices.
Yeah. Whenever we go to a wedding or something where it's definitely a social drinking event, I'll have a beer or two maybe, and then I'll try to switch to just tequila soda or vodka soda or something. So I'm having alcohol. I'm still doing the thing. It's still fun, but I'm also like minimizing my like sugar intake. I'm not drinking like Crown and Coke or whatever. When you're also drinking pop with your drinks, then that's just a double whammy.
Yeah. So you do like eggnog. So you kind of have your one eggnog a year where you're like,
Yeah. I have every holiday, not everyone, I guess, but there's a holiday thing that I enjoy that I'll partake on that holiday. I'll do a little bit of Halloween candy on Halloween. That's like the only time of the year I really eat candy. Eggnog at Christmas, I'll buy one thing of eggnog and I'll have it the one day and that's about it. But I think if you like those things, then yeah, sure. Once in a while, do it. It's when it turns into like, well, every day for a week between Christmas and New Year's, I'm drinking eggnog and feasting and doing all the things. That's when it becomes problematic.
I think one of the important things to keep in mind when it comes to the net health negative things, drugs, alcohol, ultra processed foods, high carb, sugar, they're all in the same bucket. When they become harmful is when the space in between the doses or incidents of use gets too short, gets too small.
Right.
If you had 2 drinks a year, you would be hard pressed to find any evidence that that's harmful. 2 drinks a month, also probably you'd be hard pressed to find any evidence that that's harmful. 2 drinks a day, that's definitely harmful.
Right.
So same thing when it comes to sugar and ultra processed foods, those things are all in the same category. So if you had a high carb, high sugar, ultra processed food meal once a year, you'd be hard pressed to find any evidence that's harmful. Once a month, probably not that bad. Once a week, you'd probably still be doing okay. That's like how we live our life, is one meal a week. But if you start to have that every day, then it starts to become problematic on your metabolism and your glucose and your mitochondrial health. And if you're doing that multiple times a day, especially, many days in a row, like you said, where, well, we have our Christmas Eve and it's a big dinner, and then we wake up and we have waffles for breakfast, and then we have Christmas dinner, and then we have pie for dessert, and then the next day we make pancakes, and then that's another big meal. There's candy and treats and cookies and all of the Christmas baking just nonstop for however many days in a row that goes on for. Or even, you have your big Christmas dinner and the next morning you wake up and you have oatmeal for breakfast. Put a glucose monitor on. You can see what that does to your glucose. It's not really substantially different than eating waffles for breakfast, right? So there just needs to be time for your body to reset or recalibrate from the damage. Yeah. Glucose, alcohol, drugs, whatever. So if you had a big high carb, high calorie meal the night before, the next day, if your metabolism works, you'll just be less hungry in general, but you might have to put some effort into, again, extending your fasting window after all of those calories that you took in. You just need to give your body time to use them to stay alive. You stored some fat, you got to use it up. Keep carbohydrates to an absolute minimum. Like I said, breakfast should be just eggs. Eat your whole eggs. 5 eggs is 30 grams of protein, steak, chicken, fish, that kind of stuff. So you keep the carbs out of there. Give your body time to reset, bring insulin back down, bring insulin sensitivity up, your cells back up. And then the damage is not so bad kind of thing. If we just need more time in between. So just be aware, what are the times coming up in the next month that are going to be important to you? And then do those things, enjoy those things, find the minimum effective dose you need of those things to feel satisfied and like you enjoyed life. No need to go absolutely full send off the edge of the cliff kind of thing. And then just plan for the space between. Right. Plan what happens in the space between.
Yeah, I think in a normally functioning human body, we have all of these systems to deal with all of these environmental toxins, basically. You can have some junk food once in a while and you're not going to die. We have systems to deal with it and process it. You can drink some alcohol and you're not going to die. It's only when people start to heavily abuse it that the systems get overwhelmed and they can't function properly anymore. And that's why you have an issue. So yeah, the time in between is huge. And I think that for some people out there, they need to acknowledge that they don't have a normally functioning system anymore. If you're very overweight, you can't handle a whole week of eating whatever you want, whenever you want, just because it's the holidays. It's not that you can't have any of those times, but you just need to be way more careful than somebody that does have a normally functioning system. So yeah, like you said, you need to pick and choose, decide which ones are going to be your, like, I'm going to treat myself, I'm going to enjoy it with my family or whatever. And then the other times you have to be strong enough to make a stand for the change you're trying to make in your life. And I think people will do it with alcohol. They'll say to their loved ones, I'm trying to change my habits and I'm not going to drink alcohol tonight. And I need you guys to support me in that. And everybody's always like, that's great. Good for you. And if they're not, that person's a dick. But if we were to say the same thing about cookies or pastries or junk food or whatever, people are often like, oh, it's the holidays. If somebody was to say to you, I'm really trying to get my weight under control, I'm not going to eat pie tonight, I need your support in that. And you're like, no, you should have it. It's Christmas. You're just as much of a dick as somebody saying to an alcoholic, no, you should have a beer. You should do it. It's fun. It's the holidays. Those people are struggling and they need our support.
For sure. There's many strategies you can use to keep the nutritional side of things under control. So you can emerge January 1st without a massive hole to dig yourself out of. Fitness is a lifestyle. So let's not put in a box that we only exercise when we walk through the doors of CrossFit BRIO. If you're away from the routine, fitness continues everywhere. In fact, this week, we had 2 of our members were away for back squat testing day and texted you a video of them still doing the back squats in a hotel gym. Yeah. That's what we do here. This is the home of the committed. And we're committed when we're in our walls and also outside of. So we already got a plan for Christmas Day. We're going to do 150 burpees. Everybody just does it. It's part of what we do. Drag other people in there with you, unwitting friends and family. I love when I see that. But we also have tons of support if you're away from the gym for longer, or you're sick, or whatever happens, you're away at work or traveling, that takes you out of the normal fitness routine. You go to CrossFitBRIO.com/outside the box. And there's a whole page of resources of workouts you can do away from the gym. Somebody messaged us this week, and I think their kid had been sick or something. And they were like, I'm not going to be able to make it to the gym this week. Do you have any at-home workout ideas I can do? We're like, actually, yes, we do. We have a whole web page of these things. So there are workouts. There's 2 PDF downloads you can take if you're going to be away from cell phone service. One involves a dumbbell and a skipping rope, and one involves no equipment at all. We collected our 10 favorite COVID lockdown videos that we made of complete workouts that include a warm-up, instructions on what the movements are, the workout itself, scaling options, how to modify at home based on what equipment you have. There's 10 of those, and there's some of them are pretty freaking funny too, so worth looking at. Last year around this time, CrossFit came out with its own PDF download of at-home workout, Christmas workout ideas. So there is a huge collection of resources there for you. So no excuses not to keep the fitness up just when you're away from the gym.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always something you can do.
Yeah.
And even if it's a little bit more repetitive, even if you're hindered by your space, you can find something to do. Mm-hmm. And that's why the burpee thing came to be, is we can all do 150 burpees wherever we are in the world.
Yeah.
And we've had people in the past spread those burpees out over the span of about 12 hours or so. Let's remember that is not a workout. That's technically doing it, but you can't call that a workout.
Yeah.
One rep every 5 minutes.
That's general daily activity. Maybe it goes into your step count.
Maybe
your watch picks up on that. It seems you have fallen down. Do you need help to get back up?
You keep falling down.
You keep falling down. Are you okay? Boxing Day, we do Chad.
Yeah.
The 1,000 step-ups for time. So also a workout you can do anywhere. You can find a set of stairs and go, up 1, 2, down 1, 2.
Yeah.
You can throw a backpack on. You can put some water bottles in the backpack, throw some weight on you, and you can chug away with that one anywhere, indoors, outdoors, wherever the holidays may take you. So right there is a couple of good workouts, very easy, very low space requirements that you can keep up the fitness over the holidays no matter what.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of in line with what you were saying.